EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. And off we go from Denver. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. The Broncos at 11-5 on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
2nd and a couple. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. In motion comes the tight end left. Spears is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here, going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
On 1st down, Kirkpatrick. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. These two teams, they met in L.A. earlier in the year with the Chargers coming out victorious. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. Here's 2nd and 7. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third and 5. They'll look to throw here. This one swung out to Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Let's go. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Charger drive about to get going. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Herbert. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Racing to the end zone. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Up the middle they go. Kirkpatrick fights through, and now a crease. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They run the counter. Kirkpatrick, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Jordan Stout now, and Marvin Mims deep for Denver. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Franklin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Short throw caught by Dosich. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Hand off to Spears, taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 26. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. And here's a give to Spears. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Looking to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
They run the counter. Kirkpatrick, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd down, Kirkpatrick, and he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Now it's Herbert. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Now this one finds McConkey. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Again, Herbert. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Patterson's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Charger drive about to get going. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Herbert now. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Short completion, just 4 yards, and now it's 3rd and 3.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Herbert off of play action. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's more. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. And now we'll run with Spears. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. They'll run on first down. Kirkpatrick. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Herbert And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos will take over here just shy of the 30. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Spears with another carry. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd and 4. Here's a run by Spears. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll keep it on the ground. Kirkpatrick. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. He may go. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Williams going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stick.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Broncos stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll keep it on the ground. Kirkpatrick, he'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Looking deep downfield. He's got it at the 15. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Kirkpatrick, and all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
That good for 19 on a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, here's Spears. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. And they will take a knee here. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince